One of my favorite solos Jerry took over a ballad was on the great Merle Haggard tune Sing Me Back Home, and specifically the version from Veneta 72. It's a long one, so let's just give the first half a quick listen, and then we'll break down 3 things that make it so beautiful. So this first one is something I talk about all the time, and it's probably the #1 killer of noodling, yet I don't really hear that many people do it. So let's just give a quick listen again to just a quick snippet and see if you can hear what it is. So it was simply the vocal melody, and it's critical in a ballad to have at least some pieces of it, just like touching upon it here and there. And if you're at a spot where you think, I cannot just figure out the melody by ear, and there's really not a lot of resources where you can just kind of have it all written out, you just gotta take your time and know that you can get there. I mean, I started out learning actually bass before guitar, and before that I learned piano, and my mom used to teach in the house, after school. Growing up every day I'd hear that, and when I first wanted to kind of learn to get piano, she tried to teach me, and I was just really defiant. I just wanted to do it on my own, and I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I would just learn from ear theme songs, like say the Indiana Jones theme was one of the first things I learned, and I would just go from one note to the next, and I would spend forever just trying to figure out what that next note was. But it did 2 things. It allowed me to be really patient, and it developed my ear quite a bit. And it also got me to know things really well. When you figure it out by ear and you just put in those reps, which you really, to get it by ear, you got to put those reps in. It helps you get things down really, really well. So I can't recommend enough trying to figure out that vocal melody by ear. Do it yourself. It can be super frustrating, but it will pay off in the end. Now, the vocal melody has this byproduct that can really take your playing to the next level, but it doesn't do it, in every situation, and sometimes we want even more of it. And here's a spot where Jerry kind of kept it going. So the melody typically has a lot of notes that hang on the chord tones as they happen. So by learning the melody, you get used to playing around the chords, and you might do it without even thinking about it, realizing it. It makes it very intuitive. So again, another reason to learn that vocal melody, especially when it's a ballad like this and the melody is like really, really strong kind of melody. But we can kind of take it to another level by like really consciously thinking about the chord tones, and not just doing it all the time, but when it matters most. So this musically is a spot where it really kind of matters. The song is in the key of A, right? And it's just on the surface a 1-4-5 song, so it revolves around A, D, and E. But at this one spot here, there is a B or even a B7, right? So it goes E, B7, right? Or just do it down here. I got E. And what that is that's called a pull chord, right? So that pulls, it's not in the normal key. Normally in this key, it would be a B minor, right? But they're playing it as a major, or again, down to 7, doesn't matter which one you do though. And that major note that makes it major right here is the note that's outside of the key, and it pulls to the next chord, to the E, right? So up here, here's that note. So that's a good spot to play that note, because it really makes it sound like you're playing with the chords, and that one note is outside of, again, the key, in this case, the key of A. So he's got it all outlined there. That So right there, that is E. That is G sharp. That is the major third of E. And then he's playing the root, and then he's going, then he's playing that note right when it happens there. And this right here is a B. So it's the major third and the root of B. And then he ends up bending it up to this note, back to that E, to that root. So that's a really good spot to play those notes, and he outlined it so beautifully and melodically, and it really made it sound like he was connected with the chords as they're happening. So let's just listen to that little clip again, and I'll show you the chords on the screen as I play it, so you can hear it and see it. So we're getting a glimpse into some of the aspects of how Jerry approached soloing, but if you want to dive even deeper than we have in this video, check out the Jerry Garcia 5-day challenge. I know I peel back more layers, but it's more focused on applying the tactics yourself and developing your own unique sound. It's totally free, so just check out the link in the description down below if you want to see more about it. Sadly, it is all too common for people to focus mostly on the notes they play, but Jerry was very keyed into how he played those notes as well. So listen for this one technique that he kept doing all throughout. So he was bending a lot. So rather than just playing the notes, he's bending up to them. He's bending down, just playing that right away out the gate, bending to that major third of A. And then he's bending even the first finger up to D right here. Right? That makes it sound so much more beautiful than just going. But it's just so much more, dramatic and stuff. And that spot, too, where he's hitting those chord tones, right? Bending. Oh, again. All this bending up to that root rather than just playing it, but bending from that note right below. So bending throughout really just makes it so much more beautiful. So we've got that vocal melody as the foundation. We've got the chord tones kind of when they matter the most, and bending notes left and right and really shaping it in this more dramatic, more beautiful kind of way. And this overall approach helped Jerry to kind of consistently play great solos. But another way he played very beautifully and was often overlooked was on acoustic. So check out this video here where we look at what any guitarist can learn from Jerry's acoustic playing.